What if you could build paradise in the desert? Well, Qatar seems to think it can. Welcome to Lusail, a futuristic megacity that's got luxury, sustainability, and innovation all wrapped up in one shiny package. But is Lusail truly the city of tomorrow, or just an expensive mirage? Just north of Doha, Qatar's capital, where the summers are so hot you could fry an egg on the sidewalk, and the ambitions are even hotter, Lusail City has emerged as one of the boldest urban projects the Middle East has ever seen. It's the crown jewel of Qatar's National Vision 2030, a plan to prove there's life after oil by transforming barren deserts into luxury destinations and buzzing business hubs. No big deal, right? First announced in 2005 with a jaw-dropping price tag of over $45 billion, Lusail stretches across about 38 square kilometers. Once completed, it's set to house 250,000 residents and accommodate another 170,000 professionals in sleek office spaces. Think luxury apartments, glittering artificial islands, world-class shopping, futuristic skyscrapers, and amenities so extravagant they might make Dubai start to sweat a little bit. Lusail grabbed the global spotlight when its stunning Lusail iconic stadium hosted the 2022 FIFA World Cup final, an event so spectacular it temporarily made football fans forget that they were in a city still largely under construction. Qatar seized this moment to showcase Lusail as the ultimate mix of luxury, innovation, and cutting-edge design. But here's where things get a little tricky. Behind that glitz and glamour, there's a serious push for sustainability, or so they say. Lusail promises energy-efficient buildings, sprawling green spaces, and futuristic public transport systems. But let's be real here. Turning a desert into paradise is no walk in the park. So with billions already invested and reputations hanging by a thread, the big question is, can Lusail really survive Qatar's sweltering heat, unpredictable economies, and sky-high expectations? Or will this grand vision turn out to be another example of ambition gone wild? From an engineering standpoint, building Lusail in the heart of Qatar's scorching desert was never going to be easy. Then again, Qatar isn't exactly known for backing down from a challenge. Creating an entirely new city from scratch on untouched desert land? It will take innovative thinking and billions of dollars in infrastructure investments, which doesn't hurt, to make this even remotely possible. Lusail was designed with sustainability in mind, blending luxury with eco-friendly tech. The city's planners introduced district cooling systems to fight Qatar's oppressive heat, which cuts down on energy use compared to traditional air conditioning. High-tech desalination plants suck up seawater from the Persian Gulf and turn it into drinking water. Because, let's face it, building a desert oasis without water is like throwing a party without snacks. Transportation is another big deal here. Lusail's planning includes a state-of-the-art light rail network, tons of cycling paths and pedestrian walkways, all designed to reduce car usage and pollution. At least that's the theory. The reality is that the city is still pretty much built for luxury vehicles, with impressive highways and underground parking garages integrated into its design. Architecturally, Lusail skyline is something to behold. It's filled with futuristic skyscrapers and luxurious residential complexes. Notable mentions include the crescent-shaped Lusail Plaza Towers and, of course, the Lusail iconic stadium, which is so high-tech it keeps spectators cool during the hottest months, which, believe me, they're hot. But of course, building in a desert isn't exactly smooth sailing. Engineers had to battle extreme heat, dust storms, and salty corrosive air to make sure the structures would stand the test of time. Special materials and construction techniques were a must, which, surprise, surprise, added both complexity and cost. Long story short, Lusail is a technical marvel. It's what happens when engineering meets limitless ambition. But the real question here is, can all of this innovation hold up when the weather gets hot? Or will reality start to melt Qatar's ambition? Economically, Lusail isn't just a high-end vanity project. It's a key part of Qatar's strategy to diversify away from its heavy dependence on oil and gas. With fossil fuel reserves eventually running low, Qatar is betting big on transitioning to industries like tourism, international finance, and knowledge-based businesses. And Lusail? Well, it's the heart of that vision. On paper, it all makes sense. Qatar has invested billions to create a modern metropolis that will attract global corporations, wealthy residents, and international tourists. The city's luxury residential areas and commercial districts are designed to lure in affluent expats and foreign businesses, all while creating new sectors that don't rely on oil exports. Lusail also aims to be the region's financial hub, vying for dominance with cities like Dubai and Abu Dhabi. The city's business infrastructure and planned free trade zones offer enticing incentives for multinational corporations. But here's the catch. The scale of investment comes with tremendous risks. Qatar's economic diversification depends on maintaining international confidence and regional stability. Unfortunately, both of those are about as reliable as your phone battery on 1%. And the massive upfront spending raises a big question. How quickly will Qatar make back all that money? Real estate and luxury tourism can be volatile markets, especially in a region where competition is fierce. If Lusail doesn't fill up fast enough, Qatar could be left with a shiny, but largely empty, city. In the end, Lusail's economic future comes down to finding that sweet spot between ambition and practicality. It's got massive potential to reshape Qatar's economy, but it will need more than good intentions to make that happen. Like all other megaprojects, Lusail's ambitions haven't come without some controversy. Turns out, building a sprawling city in the desert has raised environmental, social, and ethical questions that Qatar hasn't exactly solved. But let's start with the environment. Critics have pointed out that while Lusail touts eco-friendly tech like district cooling and water-efficient infrastructure, turning a desert into a bustling metropolis? Yeah, it comes with a hefty ecological cost. The construction has reshaped coastlines, destroyed desert ecosystems, and, yes, increased the region's carbon footprint. Qatar argues it's all carefully managed, but environmentalists, they're raising their eyebrows. Then there's the labor side of things. Like many large-scale projects in the Gulf, Lusail relies heavily on migrant labor. And well, that's been a bit of a sticky issue. Human rights groups have repeatedly called out poor working conditions, low wages, and limited workers' rights. The government has promised reforms, but to be honest, it's hard to overlook the human cost behind all the luxury. And let's not forget affordability. Lusail's high-end focus may attract rich residents and businesses, but what about the rest of the population? Critics argue the city risks widening social divides within Qatar. It's the classic problem of building a city that caters mostly to the rich. Will it become an exclusive playground for the elite, or can it genuinely be a place for everyone? Geopolitically, Lusail has stirred that pot too. With Qatar competing aggressively against Dubai and Abu Dhabi, some wonder if this high-stakes race could stoke tensions in the region rather than foster cooperation. And as for demand, well, that's still up in the air. So is Lusail's promise really what the market needs, or is it just another high-concept experiment? Lusail isn't the first megacity to be built from scratch, and it certainly won't be the last. There are plenty of cautionary tales and success stories to learn from. Take Songdo in South Korea, for instance, a city designed with sustainability in mind, but it's been struggling to attract enough residents and businesses. Even with billions invested and a futuristic design and eco-friendly tech, it turns out that a shiny new city needs more than just infrastructure to succeed. It needs people who want to live there. And then there's Dubai, which has turned barren land into a global playground with the likes of Palm Jumeirah and the Burj Khalifa. But even Dubai has had its challenges, with real estate bubbles and economic ups and downs. Lusail can learn from both of these, but it must strike a balance between ambition and practical needs. In short, Lusail needs to remember a few key lessons. Economic diversity is critical. Genuine sustainability matters, and building a community isn't just about flashy buildings. It's about understanding the people who are supposed to live there. So where does this all leave us? Lusail is undeniably impressive, a monument to Qatar's vision, wealth, and determination, but as with any bold bet on the future, it's not without its risks. can the city thrive long-term without a better understanding of market realities and social needs? Will Qatar follow through on all of its promises of sustainability and ethical labor practices? At the end of the day, Lusail is still a work in progress. If it can balance ambition with practicality, transparency, and real sustainability, it could become a true global landmark. If not, it might just become yet another cautionary tale of ambition outpacing reality. Lusail City is Qatar's bold vision for the future, but whether it'll be remembered as a groundbreaking success or a very expensive experiment remains to be seen. One thing's for sure though, we'll all be watching.